In today's news, CDC classifies BVI as a low-risk travel destination, and Britain becomes the first to authorize COVID-19 vaccine.
HireBVI launches its C is for Christmas, C is for Charity drive, and BVI Law Enforcement Agencies to receive marine training. All this and more when 284 News returns.
The win! Oh!
What are the
I'm freaking out!
Is time.
284 News.
Coming to you live and direct from the beautiful British Virgin Islands.
What's poppin', what's really good, what's happening, what's up?
Davis has won it for the Lakers!
Welcome everybody. It's Wednesday, December 2nd, 2020. We are coming to you live and direct from our paradise in Tortola, the beautiful British Virgin Islands. I'm Ron Grant.
And I am Kyla Kenesha Forbes. Of course, it is our pleasure to be coming to you on this beautiful Wednesday evening to bring you your local, regional, and international content. Of course, before we jump in, we do have our news summary to go through. Darnell Hazel appointed the Assistant General Manager of Scrub Island Resort BVI Athletic Association to host elections today, and travelers could pay up to $1,000 for breaching local COVID-19 protocols.
Kyla, before we continue, I'd just like to add that as we speak of the travelers having to pay a $1,000 fine for breach of the standards, the borders have officially been open.
They have.
And we are so thankful that so far, based on residents and visitors, returning nationals, the process has seemingly been very calm, cool, and collected, and we're so thankful for that. We're thankful for our officials on the Airports Authority agency aspect, and of course the government of the Virgin Islands for making sure that it's a seamless process. Kudos to you guys. We thank you so much.
As you said, Ron, I'm really glad to see the first day of the reopening going so smoothly. Of course, persons will have some criticism, but for the most part, we have been hearing great things.
Positive feedback.
And more things are to be developed to make that process even better. So we're definitely happy to see that. But then also we see where the Assistant General Manager of Scrub Island Resort, Mr. Darnell Hazel, that is actually a local right here in the British Virgin Islands. So as the industry reopens, we want to wish them over at Scrub Island and all resorts across the territory just good luck, and yeah.
Absolutely. Continuing on, U.S. citizens, they plead guilty after being fined $1,000 for entering the BVI illegally, and UK Marine specialists to train local law enforcement officers. And of course, theft of tools, surprisingly, is on the rise. The Rural Virgin Islands Police Force, they warn of that. And this evening, the Rural Virgin Islands Police Force recognizes work exemplary officers. In addition to that, they're going to be chartering a new vessel. So we're going to have all that for you today and continuing on during this week. Beginning with our newscast today on the local scene, this year HireBVI has decided to launch a virtual platform for its C is for Christmas, C is for Charity drive. Now what this means is that donors and supporters will be able to donate from anywhere once they visit HireBVI's website during the month of December. Now HireBVI will also accept contributions, and its office located at the Cyril B. Rumney Tortola Pear Park. Now C is for Christmas, C is for Charity drive is an annual charitable drive hosted by HireBVI. The December charitable event 2020 will see $1,000 worth of food supplies donated to the Rainbow Children's Home, which is our local orphanage here in the Virgin Islands. This year, the charitable organization of choice, non-profit, non-governmental organizations whose primary aim is to aid individuals, couples, and families affected by domestic violence. Now, in light of COVID-19, more and more families are being affected by financial difficulties by the pandemic. We have come to understand that FSN stands in support of these families. As a responsible corporate citizen, we are assisting now by best we can and collecting contributions to be donated directly to FSN. Now, all donations received will be donated to FSN. Our goal is $2,500, and contributions can be made either by visiting the shortened web link at HireBVI.com or visiting the office at the Cyril B. Rumney Tortola Pier Park, announced Ms. Rikima Turnbull, the Managing Director of HireBVI. And there again, encourage persons to contribute and really stand in solidarity. Another story that we're going to get to really solidifies corporate contribution, especially at these times. We get so caught up sometimes, Kyla, with the holidays and making sure that family and friends are taken care of, but we also fail to understand that sometimes families and persons within our community, this is also a very difficult time for them. And we've seen where corporate leadership and sponsorship has really come to the forefront to make sure that persons, vulnerable persons within our community, are being assessed and granted the needed assets that they need, whether it's grocery, finances, school supplies. It's very heartwarming, and we congratulate, of course, HireBVI. Now, HireBVI is a human resources business company that is well known for its online job board, as well as providing human resources solutions to other businesses. If you don't know or have not been aware of HireBVI, you should visit them at HireBVI.com, and we wish them all the best in their community and philanthropic efforts.
Now, Ron, you made a great point. The fact that, for the holidays, persons who are fortunate, we get so into the fact of giving, gifts and just everything and love to our family members. But I think we must remember and bring emphasis to the fact that Christmas is about giving, and it's not just about your smaller circle, but just giving in general. So I love the effort and that play on words, that C is for Christmas, C is for charity.
Good job.
So you must remember that, viewers. Now, as we move on, in a government issued press release, it was revealed that the British Virgin Islands is now revealed that it did reveal that the British Virgin Islands is now on level 1, which is the lowest COVID-19 risk level on the United States Center for Disease Control, which we know as the CDC Travel Health Notice. Now, the CDC's Health Notice has a 5-tier risk assessment for COVID-19. The tiers are described as level 4, COVID-19 very high, level 3, COVID-19 high, level 2, COVID-19 moderate, and level 1, COVID-19 low, and level unknown, COVID-19 unknown in that region. Now, the British Virgin Islands has been placed in level 1, COVID-19 low risk, along with a few other Caribbean islands like the Cayman Islands, Grenada, and Anguilla, which states that all travelers should wear masks, maintain physical distance from non-household members, wash hands often, or use hand sanitizer, and monitor their health for signs of illnesses. This comes as the territory officially reopens for visitors just yesterday as phase 3 of the controlled and restricted border reopening plan. The Ministry of Health and Social Development aspires to provide a caring and integrated system of health and social services that facilitates the recovery of human development and quality of life right here in the British Virgin Islands. Now, Ron, I think this is great news as our territory basically reopen their borders. I think a lot of travelers look to CDC and that travel advisory for basically advisory as to where can we go and what does that situation look like in that jurisdiction. And I think it's definitely great news as we reopen our tourism product that the CDC has now classified the BVI as very low.
Well, Kyla, I must admit that I agree with you in that sense, but we also have to look at the fact that the CDC being such a respectable and a renowned agency, their name and their advice can make or break.
Yeah.
They have, in the past, named the Virgin Islands, the BVI particularly, as a high risk. High risk, and when I see it, I'm like, well,
really and truly,
how many cases do we have?
Right.
However, it's based on their protocol. So I think a lot of times in going through and sifting the information. Viewers, yourself, you have to be as cognizant and responsible of understanding the difference. When you look at a territory as small as the Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands particularly, and the CDC at one point raised us as a high risk, and now we are low risk. It begs to beckon the difference in the actuality of cases and what's being measured, but nevertheless, we're doing well in it. Yeah, absolutely. Continuing on, still ahead, Rotary Club of the BVI, the Rotary Clubs of the BVI, they host a food drive for the FSN Pantry, and officers have been recognized for outstanding achievements. All this and so much more. You're watching 284 News.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Viewers, welcome back. You're watching 284 News. Now, speaking of philanthropy and helping our community, as we spoke of earlier, the needs of the Family Support Network have continued to grow and continue to be challenged, of course, as a result, particularly of COVID-19. We sat down today, myself sat down today with Ryan Golick, the Assistant Governor of Rotary here in the British Virgin Islands, along with two other presidents of the Rotary Clubs in the BVI and Director of the Family Support Network, Mrs. Maris Hodge. Right now, as we speak of needs, here is one club, all clubs as a matter of fact, coming together to really support and put on a territory-wide food drive. Take a look. Now, this food drive is going to be in honor of the family, or in aid, sorry, of the Family Support Network food drive. Tell us about the event.
So the Rotary Clubs of the BVI, or the Rotary family of the BVI, I should probably say, are getting together. I mean, we recognize that there is a significant need. I don't think that that's something that anybody is not aware of right now with the media exposure, but there's a significant need, and Rotary wants to do its part. So we are hosting a food drive this Saturday at all of the locations. So Right Way in at Paseo. We're doing at Right Breeze in East End, and also in Virgin Gorda at Right Way, plus at One Mark as well here in Roadtown. So we'll be all over the territory collecting food in aid of Family Support Network. So you'll just look out for us and make sure that people do support.
Absolutely. Now, this is going to be from 10 a.m. to 5 at the locations that you mentioned, correct?
That's correct, yeah. 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. So we'll be there pretty much all day. So like I said, come out and look for us. And do everybody does their part to give. So we also have a second part also to the food drive. So on Saturday we'll be doing at the grocery stores, but we'll also be distributing boxes to various establishments around the territory, so that employees or persons who weren't able to give on Saturday can still give at establishments, or help with their employees and things like that if they want to give. So we've got various methods to make sure that that the territory has the opportunity to help support Family Support Network, because they really do need a lot of help right now.
Absolutely. Now, viewers, that was myself and Mr. Ryan Golick, the Assistant Governor here in the British Virgin Islands for Rotary, as he spoke directly to the upcoming event this Saturday that will feature a variety of supermarkets really contributing and presenting a space for persons to come and donate. And of course, we were joined by Mrs. Maris Hodge, who is the Director at Family Support Network. Sometimes we take for granted the special, very special need that has been placed upon this agency, and she had quite a bit to say. Take a look.
Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. As we seek to assist the Family Support Network, the Rotary Clubs in the BVI, can you speak to the need for such initiatives in aid of your organization?
Well, the need is there because our organization was not originally set up to deal with a food pantry. That came about because we saw the need in the beginning to assist families where women had to leave with their children from their marriages, and at that time were having difficulty. So we started a food pantry to help those persons. After Hurricane Irma, certain persons in the community started coming to us and asking for food because they know we had a food pantry. So we expanded our program at that time to accommodate those persons. What has happened over this last year, though, has been really extravagant because we started off last year, perhaps we helped like 35 families. After Irma, sometimes it was like 40, 50 families. We have now gone to the place where last month we assisted over 1,000 persons for food. We will get food in. Sometimes, the pantry is full, and by the end of the week or early the next week, it's empty. So the need is there. We're seeing people who are coming because they haven't worked since March, or they're working part-time and their salary cannot accommodate paying rent and their utilities and buying food. So sometimes you'll have people who come back and who'll call and say, can I come in? I know it's not my date, because people have a date that they're given to come back. I know it's not my date, but there's nothing in the house, or my baby needs formula or Pampers.
Another great initiative, Kyla, where community and corporate partnership comes together. Of course, nonprofit organizations like Rotary Clubs of the BVI, that's Sunrise, Rotown, Tortola, Rotaract, Interact, all coming together to make sure that it still takes a village.
Ron, as you said, I think persons must not take for granted the role that the FSN plays. I think they had a hefty role even before COVID-19, and I think that has tripled, quadrupled. It's just so much, and I'm really happy that they're getting the necessary help from corporate partners as well as nonprofit organizations in the community to make this work, because it takes a village in general to help the families out there that are struggling during this pandemic and onwards. Now, as we move on, the Commissioner of Police, Michael Matthews, took some time off to recognize the outstanding achievements of his officers and members of the police staff at a luncheon hosted in their honor just last Thursday. With His Excellency the Governor Augustus Jaspert, Deputy Governor David Archer, and Deputy Premier Honorable the Honorable Natalia Wheatley in attendance. A total of 112 Royal Virgin Islands Police Force officers and staff, as well as officers of the Joint Task Force, Customs and Immigration, were presented with one of 4 awards for exemplary achievements during the years of 2019 and 2020. All 3 of the honored guests expressed their appreciation and support to the officers for their hard work, many times challenging efforts to keep the community safe. The officers received awards for exemplary policing, conduct, certificates of commendation, and leadership. Now, supervisors nominated officers that excelled in the areas of public responsiveness and sensitivity, recovery of illegal firearms and related items, seizure of drugs and illegal cash, arrests and apprehension of dangerous criminals, constant work ethic, and going beyond the call of duty. Now, Commissioner of Police Michael Matthews noted his delight at hosting this event and showing appreciation that is to his officers for their exceptional work in one of the toughest years on record. He said, and I quote, "I have officers who exceed even my expectation to bring about an arrest and confiscate illegal items and aid a member of the public, some all in one night. However, because of the nature of this profession, these officers can never be publicly celebrated. Today, our esteemed officials and colleagues in the profession can get to see and appreciate this work." This is what Commissioner Michael Matthews had to say about these officers. I think it is great to see these officers get their recognition because they do work hard, and it has been a really tough year, as Commissioner Matthews did point out.
Kyla, I think another area that we take for granted as a community, while we complain a lot, is the area of law enforcement. Police officers, while they're executing their duties, have family, friends, and we fail to understand sometimes the parallel disconnect that they face, not only with their colleagues, not only with their family and friends, but just regular citizens. And we have to applaud them. I'd like us to take this opportunity to applaud them as much as we criticize sometimes and ask you to do a little bit more than you're doing. I'd like to take and be the first to say we applaud you and we thank you so much for your role in keeping the community safe. We appreciate you, we see you, and we wish you the best of luck.
Still ahead, viewers, BVI Law Enforcement Agency to receive Marine training, and Britain is actually the first to authorize a COVID-19 vaccine. All this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do you enjoy the rest of the day? Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works. Viewers, thanks for sticking with us. You're watching 284 News out of Tortola in the beautiful British Virgin Islands. Continuing on the local scene here in Tortola, in a Government Information Services release, it was announced that the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force and the Marine section of the Joint Task Force are set to benefit from expertise from the United Kingdom Marine Police to booster ongoing work by the government of the Virgin Islands to secure the territory's borders. Now, the governor, with the support of the National Security Council, is pleased to announce that 6 UK Marine police officers will join the ranks of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, initially for a 2-month period starting in early 2021. Now, the specialist team will provide training and monitoring in marine policing and enforcing, including advanced boat handling and introduction skills. This will, of course, help build the long-term specialist capacities in the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force with the Joint Task Force and the Territory Support Action Group. Now, the Joint Task Force and H. Lavery Stout Community College will also be asked to explore a Train the Trainers program with the UK second team. Now, the cost of the deployed and the salaries of the UK officers will be met, of course, by the UK government. Now, the UK officers will follow all health and safety protocols entering the British Virgin Islands to ensure there is no risk, and the government of the Virgin Islands will meet the cost of any quarantine. In addition, the UK Marine Police will also learn from the experiences of the Joint Task Force, who have shown over recent months their impressive success and determination in policing the territory's borders. Now, His Excellency, the Governor of the Virgin Islands, Governor Augustus J.U. Jaspert, said in a comment, and I quote, "This secondment will be invaluable for both the UK and BVI law enforcement officers. For, of course, BVI, it will enhance local capacity in marine policing and interdiction, developing the skills of our local officers and the resilience of our law enforcement institutions. Now, it aims," he continued by saying, "to leave a lasting legacy of a stronger local capability for the UK officers. It will be an opportunity to learn from officers in the BVI about the unique challenges we face and our cross-agency collaboration." He said, "I am grateful to the UK for this support in this very critical time." Now, Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Andrew A. Foy, in his capacity said, "As we as a territory, we welcome the capacity building of our law enforcement agencies in the marine training and mentoring. I have asked the chairman of the Joint Task Force, Mr. Wade Smith, to ensure that the officers capitalize on the technical expertise and to, of course, ensure that the knowledge gleaned from the practical exchange is considered and across the law enforcement capacities and agencies as we continue to prepare the territory for the future in this new regular." Now, of course, Deputy Commissioner Mr. Alwyn James Sr. Shared his appreciation, Carla, for the advanced training and support that the UK officers will provide in these times of unprecedented challenges to border security. He said, "We are happy to have the additional hands and extra skills to help keep our borders secure and residents safe. I look forward to mentorship and transfer of skills. These UK officers will improve the security and their training, of course, for the people of the territory by building on previous support from the United Kingdom government, helping to protect and secure the integrity of the BVI's sea borders, and most recently, this included the deployment of His Majesty's Medway for the BVI territorial waters." Now, the UK has invested significant funds in the support to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, including $1 million in police infrastructure to help build better following of since the hurricanes of 2017, and of course about $700,000 in training and other support since the 2018, and we are so grateful for that. And I'd also like to reiterate to our general public that while it is his role, the Governor of the Virgin Islands, His Excellency the Governor, while I think during his tenure, many persons, both on the government side and the residents, might have disagreed, and he may have disagreed, I do see where his forthrightness and his accountability in making sure that he rallies for the Virgin Islands and making sure that we have key essential capabilities and assurance and assistance has been paramount, and
Yes.
we accompany him, we applaud him for his excellent steadfastness in this regard.
Agreed. Now, as we move on to our last story before we close out, we see where Britain authorized a COVID-19 vaccine for use on Wednesday. Now, green-lighting the first shot backed up by rigorous scientific review. The first vaccination are expected within days, a major step towards what they say is eventually the end of this pandemic. Now, the go-ahead for the vaccine from American drug maker Pfizer and Germany's biotech comes as the virus surged again in the United States and across Europe, putting pressure on hospitals and forcing new rounds of restrictions that have devastated the global economy. Now, officials cautioned that several tough months still lie ahead, even in Britain, given the scale of the operations needed to vaccinate large swaths of population. Now, the medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, which licensed drugs in the UK, recommended that the vaccine for emergency use after it reviewed a raft of data, including the results of clinical trials that showed it was 95% effective and offered significant protection for older persons among those most at risk of dying from the COVID-19 disease. But the vaccine remains experimental while final testing is done. Now, Ron, we have more on this story, and viewers, if you would like to view this story in its entirety, it is on our website. But before we close out, we see where international media houses and governments across the world are saying this vaccine might be the start to the end of this pandemic. And I think there's a lot more to be revealed as it
Of course, I agree.
to these.
I think it's a bit too quick to say, but yeah.
I do agree with that. Now, viewers, we have to wrap up. Of course, I am Kyla Kenesha Forbes.
And I'm Ron Grant. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We wish you a happy Wednesday, and we look forward to bringing you your daily dose of local, regional, and of course international content. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.